Hello everyone, and welcome to another mscrm-addons webinar. Today we're going to be covering Group Calendar. It's going to be a design and feature overview. Some of the things we're going to cover today is just we're going to start off with some of the simpler things that you can do with Group Calendar right out of the box, move on to some more complicated things, some configuration things that you could do with Group Calendar, and work through there. Following up the webinar, we're going to have a question and answer session, but as always, if you have any questions or anything like that, you can post it right there in the chat. And I have a couple of people that work with me on my team that are monitoring the chat, and they'll answer those questions as they come in, so feel free to ask any kind of questions that you have at any time that you want to in the chat. Again, we do record these, so after this is all done, these slides and the recording will be available to you on our website. So I'm going to go ahead and get right into it. So basically, again, what we're covering here is Group Calendar. And basically, the main question is, what is Group Calendar? Well, for those of you all that have worked with Service Calendar and CRM, it's really kind of one of those things where it's just really hard to kind of get a good overview of kind of what's going on with people, with all your users and everything like that inside your company or inside your CRM system, just kind of seeing what all they're doing. Well, with Group Calendar, what we allow you to do is we kind of allow you to drill down from everyone in CRM to teams that you've defined to individual users. And this is really handy. For example, if you have a person in the company or one of your clients has a person in the company that is basically in charge of scheduling everyone, that makes it a lot easier to do scheduling. Also, if you're maybe have a sales manager who wants to look and see exactly all the appointments that everyone on their sales team has, it's really easy for him to go in there and look at all these calendars and look and just get a good overview of kind of what's going on with everyone on his team, his or her team. So moving on, the first thing we're going to talk about and look at, these are all out-of-the-box features with Group Calendar. We're going to talk about some of the available views and the features that are in there. The view or the Gantt view, if you've seen Service Calendar, you're familiar with this view. Another one is the timeline, the top-down, and we have several different views for the days, weeks, and months. So I'll just kind of go through all those and show them to you and show you some of the features of those. And those would be the drag and drop rescheduling options, context menu options that you can create, open, and delete, and some of the nav bar settings. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go right over here to my demo system. And as you can see here, I've got Group Calendar open. This is the Gantt view that I've got. The first thing, though, that I do want to talk about here is the sidebar. And the reason I'm going to talk about this first is, this is where basically I can make any kind of changes that I want in Group Calendar, and it affects all the views. As you can see here up top, basically starting off with the current date, I've got a view of the month here. If I want to see the month, I can click, or I can click on the week, or I can click on the date, and just go right into those things. So it makes it really easy to kind of get around and look around here just by clicking on this calendar. Again, I have under here the extended selections. I can select users and resources here. I can also do this up here from this little drop down. As you can see here, I've got my list of teams. I've got a list of resource groups, my individual users, and my list of resources right here. We'll go into the sort of towards the end of the demo or the end of the webinar. I'll kind of go into here and show you guys how to set these up. So going back, these are our settings here. The nice part about this is, each person's different. They want to view the calendar differently. Group Calendar gives them the option to set this up. So they can set up the default view any way that they want to, define what default user or group they're going to be taking a look at, and then also their default activities that they want to be showing on the calendar. Here's a couple other little things that they can set up if they only want to say view the attendees or only things that are open, etc. They can check these boxes right there and it's saved. So they get a personal, customized view. Again, they can also edit the column widths so that they can set it up to just basically however they want to. Once they've gone ahead and set those things up right here, for example, say for example, I also want to view phone call activities, but I don't want to have it in my default view. I can just click right here, and then it's going to bring up any phone call activities and show those on the calendar as well for the team or the group or the user, whoever I've got. Again, here's a few little options here. Basically, if I want to view only attendees, I can just click here. This way, it's not set as the default. It's only kind of a one-time thing once I have GroupCalendar open. But it's really nice and handy for, say, like for example, a scheduler. You can see that in this scenario here, I'm the scheduler. I had a lot of things that I wasn't attending that showed up because I was the owner of the activity. But once I do that, I can actually see what my activities are, what I'm supposed to be doing. And then I have a couple other settings. But right now, what I want to go ahead and do is go ahead and get into the views here. This is the Gantt view. This is the one that everyone who has worked with Service Calendar is familiar with. It's really, really nice and easy to kind of see. We've made it really simple to take a look at because we have the ability over here to zoom and to zoom in and out on the calendar. We can also specify a date range that we want to take a look at. Over here, basically, I have all the users here in my group. These are all the users here on my CRM system. Another nice feature that you can do to the Gantt view is you can customize this to add extra columns. So you can see here I just added the main phone number for everyone here. Just in case I would need to call them, I can see it right there in this view. Another nice thing that you can see here is I've got all my activities here laid out. One thing that I can do here in the Gantt view, as you can see here, I've got two activities that are kind of overlapping. I can just click that and open it up and take a quick look and see that, for example, Christian has two overlapping activities. I can hover over these, do a quick look at them, and kind of see, just a brief summary of kind of what's going on, or I can just double click them and go right into the activity. Let me move back to the calendar here. This is one nice feature for this. You can see here I've got two attendees for this. They're kind of lined up here. But let's say, for example, Christian's going here. He can't make it. Let me just go ahead. What I can do here is I can pull this down and drop it right onto Max. And what that does is it updates the calendar. It updates the activity with this information. Christian is then removed from the appointment, and then Max is added. It's all kind of done just by dragging and dropping. I can also just do that just by changing the times, just dragging, and as you can see here, it automatically updates it again for myself. This is really nice. So any changes that I make with the drag and drop feature in here, it's going to update all the activities. Also, if you are using Outlook and you're using the CRM Outlook plugin, it's going to synchronize with your Outlook calendar. So any changes that I make in here, depending on your settings that you have in Outlook, it's going to synchronize to your Outlook. Any changes that you would also make in Outlook, it would synchronize back to the group calendar. So it's really makes things really nice and really simple. I'm going to go ahead and move on to the views. The next view that we have is what's called the list view. This is really, really nice because what it actually does is it gives me basically like the whole lineup for the days of the week here, and lists out all activities that are kind of going on during the week. Now, if you have a whole lot of users and everything, this can get really complicated really quick. So it's really nice to be able to use the list view, like say if you're just looking for, say, like a single individual, you can just basically go over here or click on myself, and then I have a list basically of everything that I'm going to be doing for the week. So that's just really a nice view, just if you want to just kind of list everything out and kind of see what's going on. Let me go back to this. What we can do here also is we can right-click on any of these activities, open it, copy it, open the regarding, attach a note to it, or delete it. We can also just double-click again just to open up the activity. Let me move on down to the timeline and show you that. This is really nice. Basically what I've got my days of the week up here up top. I've got my, my users in the group right down here, listed all down here. And basically what I've got is all their activities listed in chronological order. So I can get a really good overview as to what's going on, what everyone's doing at a certain time just by taking a look at this. I have a really great overview of what's happening, what everyone's doing. So those are all the views in the week view. Now just moving on to the month view, again we have the Gantt and we have the timeline again. I'm going to show you, this is the overview. This is basically the same thing like in Outlook. If I look at the month view in Outlook, I have the same kind of situation here where I can see basically all the activities, again hover over them, get a brief summary of kind of what's going on with the activity. Also, I can double click it and go right into the activity. So it's really nice. It gives you just a pretty good overview of what's going on certain days of the month. I can then click into that day and go right to the day, or again over here on the side, click into that and go right to the week. Moving on to the day view. The day view has the list, the Gantt, and the timeline. The other one that it has is a top-down view. This is actually my favorite view. This is where I do most of my work. As you can see here, what I've got up top, I've got a list of all the people in the group that I have selected, or the particular user that I have selected, and then the time right down here. Now I have this set for business hours. You can come down here, you can set it for 24 hours so you can see basically everything that's going on. Pretty good, like if you have people that work in different shifts or in different parts of the world, you can kind of see exactly what's going on in a 24-hour period. It makes it really, really nice and simple. In this view right here, it's pretty easy. As you can see here, I've got again two conflicting appointments. Again, I can just drag and drop here in this view. I drag it over and drop it, and then it's updated for everyone who is associated with that appointment. The other nice thing that I can do, for example, if I know that, let's say this is scheduled from 1 to 4, let's say that we're going to go do the offsite demo, it's actually going to go from 1 to 5. All I would need to do is just grab it and extend it, and then it's all set up. Again, this will synchronize to their Outlook calendar with the CRM plugin. But it just really makes things a lot simpler and easier to do. In this one, what I can also do is if I'm want to create a new activity, I can just right-click, select the activity that I want to create, and it'll open up. Say, for example, if I'm creating a new appointment, it'll open up a new appointment activity. I fill in all the information that's filled also into GroupCalendar as well. Also, if I have an activity that is, say, longer than the default, I've got this set for 1 hour. If I'm going to basically go over an hour, let's say I've got an appointment that's going to last from 1 to 6, I can just drag, click on it, highlight all this, right-click, say New Appointment, and you can see it automatically updates it here. I get the 5 hours in there. I just fill in the information and set it, and then that's saved right into the group calendar. Okay. So that covers pretty much all the available features and everything like that, and the views that come straight out of the box. Basically now what I want to do is move on to a couple of the other things, some of the additional features. Now this does require some configuration of CRM on your part. But it's really simple and easy to do. We have a couple of good blog articles that can walk you through all this, and some really good documentation that can walk you through all this stuff. One of the things that you might have noticed that all my activities were color-coded. That's something that you can add. You can also do a print preview of certain views. You can do working hour integration and time off, and you can embed the calendar in entity forms. So let me zip back over to the demo system and kind of show you all this stuff. As you can see here, all these are color-coded. You can select the color that you want. Let's say, for example, here, this is green and this is green for demos. Basically, want to have that a different color. Basically, all I have to do is click on it. This also is available when you're creating the appointment. Basically, I go in here, and this is what we've added here to this form, the ability just to select a color. So I can go ahead and just select a new color. I'll save that, close it, come on back into my group calendar, and I just need to refresh. And there you go. This is the colors changed. So being able to color code everything gives you just a really good, keeps it to where you could say, okay, everything in blue is maybe say, like, for example, offsite demo. Everything in green has to do with lunch meetings, et cetera, et cetera. You can kind of customize it and do it any way that you want to. Now for the print preview, this is actually really nice because, let's say, for example, kind of what we're doing here is what I'm doing is kind of simulating the fact that we're going to maybe some type of convention. I think it's Convergence. Let's say, for example, I wouldn't have access to Outlook, or I wouldn't have access to CRM Group Calendar. I can go ahead and hit this print preview and go ahead and print this off for everyone so that they have just a nice schedule of what they're doing, what they're doing and when things are going to happen, and things of that nature. So that comes in really handy, if you need to say, like, for example, print somebody's calendar off, print their schedule off, give it to them, or, you want to do that yourself as an individual. You have the ability to do that and use. Moving on to the work hour integration, that is seen really can't do here, and you might have noticed this before. You can see here where I've got all these areas that are marked out in red. Basically, anything in red is considered time off, and anything in between that is not time off, is their working hours. It's really simple to set. Basically, I've just after I've done the configuration and everything like that, I would go ahead and go into my user here. And then basically just go ahead and set the working hours. I just go ahead and set this up. I could give it a new weekly schedule here. Set the hours right here. Just set it up, and once I'm done with that, save it back, and then it's basically going to show me the working hours there in CRM in Group Calendar. I can also set the time off as well. If someone was taking vacation, just so that's all in the group calendar. You can see that's shown right in here. I've kind of simulated that Tom has off these 2 days. Then you can see they're marked off by the fact that he has time off. Everyone else, you can see here that there's what their working hours are. So for a scheduler, it's really easy. They can just drag and drop stuff around and just kind of maintain the working hours, and it makes life a whole lot easier. The other thing that you can do with Group Calendar is, I was talking about embedding the Group Calendar. Just got 2 quick examples here. One is just a kind of a dashboard that I set up here, where you can see here that I've got all my stuff up here, all my lists and all my charts. And then below I have Group Calendar. So you can set it up to where actually that your users do not have to go into Group Calendar itself. You can just embed it in the dashboard if you want to. And they can just work with it from here. You have all the features and functionality where I can just choose my groups and everything right from in this. The other thing that's really nice and quite cool is, like, say for example, I've got let's see, the First Farm Credit Service here. I've got this account. If I want to see all the activities and everything in Group Calendar that are just associated with that account, I can set this up, and once I go into here and go to Group Calendar, I can see here that I've got a phone call that I had this morning that was scheduled. See what the status is on that. This is really good. Like, say for example, if you're a sales manager or just a manager and you're trying to follow basically kind of what's going on with an account, you can just come in here, take a look at the week view and kind of see what's happening. So I've had basically this phone call that I made, that I scheduled some training for Documents Core Pack. and then I set it up here for this particular day to go in and do that. So I get a really good overview of what's going on and can follow what's happening with the account. The way that this is basically done is anything that's set to, like, say, this is regarding this particular account right here. That's what's going to show up in the group calendar under the account. It's going to be the same for a contact. If the contact is says regarding, say, if I have a meeting with someone, that's going to show up on the group calendar underneath their contact once I go ahead and view that. Okay, let me just move on back here. All right, back to my group calendar. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to talk about, I was kind of showing you the groups a little bit, just, you know, either user groups, teams, resource groups. I'll just show you kind of, if you're unfamiliar with how to do that, I'll just show you kind of how you can do that really quickly. And it's quite simple. Let's see here. So basically, if I wanted to set up, say, like a team, all I would have to do here is go into my settings. From there, it's to administration. And again, I can just add the teams. So here I've got a list of teams. I can just basically, I can select a new one, go ahead and configure that. Let me just go ahead and open one that I've already done. You see, just give it a team name, who's the administrator, and the type. And then right up here, I'll just add some team members. It's really quite easy to add. So basically, this is really nice because, in companies, usually you have people maybe moving somewhere else inside the company, or you're getting new people. It really makes it easy to kind of keep up with everyone. You just kind of add them in here or take them away. Makes it quite simple. So basically, all you would do is save that back. Again, real fast for showing how to set up the resource groups. Again, it's just settings. From there, I'm going to business management. And here under business management, I have my resource groups. I can set these all up basically however I want to based upon my resources. Same thing with the teams. I just give it a name, give it a description if I need to. Then click right here and add my resources to it. I can add them, take them away, whatever I want to do. So if I go back into group calendar and I set these all up, let me just grab workplace, and then I'm here on group calendar. You can see here I've got these all set up there. You're able to pick from them. So let's see. So I set up the all cars and rooms. I can bring that up. I can see what's happening with all my resources, where they're going to be, what they're going to be doing, if they're booked out or not. Say, for example, meeting rooms or cars or laptops or what have you. I can set that all up in one place. Again, it's the same thing for a user team that I've created. I can see all their individual activities and everything like that, and then just go ahead and kind of move things around if I need to, and set things up. So it's really just a powerful tool that will kind of help you to manage your activities and your resources and your users really, really fast and easy, with the ability just to drill down from top into CRM all the way to the individual user and see their calendars. So I'd like to thank you for joining us. For those of y'all that are going to be in Convergence next week, please stop by the booth. I'd love to meet all y'all. Also, feel free to join our upcoming webinars. I believe the next webinar is going to be over our new add-on Smart Bar. We'll be covering that, so please join us for that. Always want to cover the resources. You can always find us on the web at www.mscrm-addons.com. If you have any questions or anything like that, feel free to visit our support site. You can get us over live chat, or you can email us at support@mscrm-addons.com. And again, I always like to stress this: we've got a great blog. Really important on this one because a lot of those advanced features like the color, setting the colors and things of that nature, you're going to find those articles on our blog on how to do that. So, if you have GroupCalendar installed or you're going to do the 14-day trial, just go ahead and download it. You can set all these things up and just by following the blog articles, and you can get this up and go. And the way that I have it, it only took me about 45 minutes to do everything. So, it's pretty simple. The blog articles are really well written. Again, we've got the contact information down below. One more time, just want to reiterate, this is being recorded, so if you want to, once it's done and uploaded to the website, you can view it again. You'll be able to also download these slides if you need them. So now I want to go ahead and open it up to any questions that anyone has if they haven't already been answered. And so I'm just going to basically kind of turn it over to my team and maybe jump in again with any and answer any questions that I can. So thank you so much for joining, and we'll talk to you soon.